I showed up down here to support Lewis Reed. I hope this program get off its feet, make a difference. If you don't threaten the community, how you gonna change the community? You see my son Breon still fight for justice. Just hung 2 signs off Highway 270 last Friday. Adopted 2 signs in St. Louis. Got 2 tattoos, one for Lonnie, one for Breon. I ain't come to St. Louis to continue to play with y'all. Y'all need to get behind something and threaten them with this ceasefire and make a difference for these people. If you don't threaten them, they never change. You tuned in to Real Talk. Ronnie Robinson. I am the host of 2 sons being killed in St. Louis. But guess what? I got a guest.
Good morning. My name is Robbie Williams.
Thank you, Ms. Robbie. Who are you here to represent today?
I'm here to represent 5 of my nephews that got killed.
How do you feel as a person?
I'm hurting right now.
Do you think St. Louis is ready for a change?
Yes, we definitely need a change.
Do you think threatening this program out there is going to make a change?
Yes, we need this program.
That's the only way to threaten them, ain't it?
That's the only way to threaten them. We need it.
You got your sign. You see a sign? 5 in one family.
All cousins.
All cousins. You think this a game? It ain't a game. We finna turn it over.
Yes.
We don't turn that St. Louis upside down. President Lewis Reed, we're here to support you.
Yes, we
Board members, open your eyes till it hit your family.
Yes.
If it ain't touched your family yet, how do you feel if it ain't touched their family?
They ain't had it yet. Waiting till they hit it. Wait, hold on. I'm just nervous.
Okay. It's okay. I can hold it down because I'm used to it. I had to build my strength on my arms and through my sons. But guess what? This lady's still crying. I'm still crying. I might not cry on this camera, but I get my shares of tears in because guess what? You can't replace your child. Y'all better open your eyes. You taking kids away. I hope some pastors come through here today. Preachers, turn this city upside down. Quit hiding in your pulpits. Come out. You want to stand for something, stand for what's right.
I lost 2 sons.
What are your thoughts about that?
I think it's a good program. If you don't shake the community up, you'll continue to have it.
Put it in St. Louis. St. Louis don't think nobody's serious. No politicians, nobody's serious. They look at the governor, they laugh. They look at the Congress, they
Why
laugh.
do you think pure violence is good?
Because it's a program to stop the violence. You think people, if you put $8 million out for hockey, you'll put it out there. You put it out there for soccer, you'll put it out there. But to save another person's life, you should put it out there. Guess what? I just had 2 signs. 2 signs hung in the St. Louis area off the highway, adopt the highway. 2 sons.
For cure of violence, you think it's a good idea?
Yes. It's a wonderful idea. It's an idea been out there for 3 years, long overdue. This man been fighting this program for 3 years, and the increase have went up. So you don't think it's a good program?
Well, I'm just asking you.
Yeah, it's a good program. As a father that been through it, it's a good program.
Thank you.
Best investment St. Louis can do.
Funds to be able to fund the program called Cure Violence across a 3-year period. I don't have to, tell all of you. I'm sure you have recognize all the crime that's hit our city, and particularly this year with a lot of the young people that have been shot and killed in our city. Currently, we were at 149 murders in our city, plus another 4, that's including 4 from just last night. There are cities across America that don't see 4 murders in 2 to 3 weeks opposed to one night. But that's what we're seeing now. And when you take a look at the number of shootings, we're at over 1,700 shootings just this year alone. So it's clear that we need a change in course and direction. It would be different if this was just a rarity, that we don't normally see upwards of 200 people murdered in our city on an annual basis. But year after year after year after year, this is what we've seen. St. Louis City remains in one of the top 10 most dangerous cities in America, and we can do something different. We have to break with the current entrenched system and bring something new in place that can address these things at their core, that can help us get in front of the public safety issues that have plagued us as a city, and have a new day in the city of St. Louis. And I think that program is Cure Violence. Cure Violence has been proven to work in cities all across America. And if there's one thing that we know about public safety and crime that we did not know before, is that it is not an easy fix. It's not something that's easy. It's not something that any one of us could sit down with a pen and piece of paper and write things down and put them in place and hope that they will work. Cure Violence has been measured and studied by professors and independent testing agencies, and it's been implemented in cities all across the country with very similar results no matter where they put it. And that's 40% to 60+% drop in the violent crime rate and murders in their city. If the city of St. Louis would have a 50% drop in our murder rate, that would transform us as a city. And there is some real cost to all the murders that we're seeing. That's why we see corporations leave. That's why we see people choosing not to live in our city and choosing to move out of our city, because they want to have a safe place to raise a family. They want to have a safe place to live. And when you look at how brazen some of the murders have been this year, where they meet a wife and a husband and a 10-year-old child at the front door of their house, and they walk them into their house and they shoot them and kill them. That's something that you don't see all. When a 7-year-old kid playing in the backyard shot and killed, right? This is what's happening in our city. So this is an urgent matter that we need to address. This is something that we need to bring in a program that has been proven to work, that we can implement every single component of that program to transform our city. So that's why we're here today, and that's what Board Bill 105 represents to me. I have a number of speakers that I'd like to bring up that'll talk about the program and just give some background information so everybody's on the same page as to what we're looking at today and why I believe that it's important that we address it in this manner. The Board of Aldermen, we have an opportunity to lead the transformation of our city as it relates to public safety, and I know you are probably members of this board that have had it visit their doorstep or their family members directly. You know, not too long ago, my son getting out of the car in front of my house, walking in the house, two guys approached him and chased him with a pistol. That has never happened in front of my house, but it's happening every place in our city. So it's clear that we need some change. There are some amendments that I'm going to bring a little bit later to the board bill. Currently, we call out for $8 million, and $8 million is what we feel like we need across a 3-year span of time. Right? That's not in 1 year. That's spread out across 3 years to help with startup costs, any unforeseen things that may come up across the 3 years, plus the budget amount to fund the program as outlined and also as delivered to us by the Public Safety Director. So the number that I will introduce a little bit later is $5 million. I've been working with the Budget Director to identify $5 million that are in this current budget that we can transfer to an account in the Health Department to assure that this program is funded. And then across 3 years, we have an opportunity to put another $1 million in. Right? We have $2 million that's in place right now. That brings us to that. So the 2 plus the 5, that's 7, and then we'll come up with another $1 million across the next 3 years. And I think Mary's passing that out now. Yes.
Replications out the country that is doing the work, as President Reed mentioned, and I've had the opportunity to work in all these different places. But one thing about St. Louis is that St. Louis is like home to me. My brother lives right here in St. Louis, many uncles, many aunties, family across the water. So this area is an area that I used to live at myself. As I've been saying, doing this work transformed my life. And that's part of the work that I like about Cure Violence, because although it is proven to stop violence, with the people that you hire, it transforms their life as well in a neighborhood. I think there's a few points that I want to point out. As I've been looking at the news here, and I'm seeing that they're saying, 8 million Cure Violence, I think it's clear that the 8 million is for the city of St. Louis doing the Cure Violence model. Sometimes wording it can throw people off. It's not like they're writing a check to Cure Violence for $8 million. So I just want to put that on the table right now. The money is for St. Louis, it's for St. Louis community and people to do the work on the ground that can do the work. I've also noticed in the news that we're saying that this is something that we don't know for sure, and it's a gamble. The thing I like to say to that is that we don't know for sure about a lot of things. But one thing we can at least say about Cure Violence, we have a boatload of evidence to back it up. At least we can back it up with evidence of multiple cities. And with all due respect to St. Louis, there's nothing new underneath the sun in the neighborhoods. I come from the neighborhoods, so I'm not speaking from somebody that's far away. I understand the streets. I understand the communities that we're trying to do this program in. You have to use people from the neighborhood to stop the violence. They're the ones that can get it done. Those are the ones that have been exposed to it. My condolences to anyone in the room that has lost somebody. To say that $8 million is a lot of money and it can save lives is ridiculous to me. And we're not saying $8 million for 1 year like President Reed has said. We're breaking this over a period of time. So you're talking about possibly a couple million, 2.5 each year to fund maybe 4 sites that is going to have at least maybe 50 employees. So we're talking about 50 employees over a 3-year span that come from the neighborhoods that we want to do the program at. And I don't see how that in any shape or form is not a worthy investment. Those forever. We've been doing, they're not going anywhere. But when it's something that goes in the community that's going to give jobs to individuals, and maybe that's the issue. Maybe people don't like that Cure Violence hires people from the neighborhood who may have a background. I have a background, did 10 years incarceration. Here I am today speaking in front of board members, aldermen, in the city of St. Louis. I never would have thought I'd be doing this. I've been doing this 16 years. It's put me in front of presidents. It's put me in countries like South Africa. I've worked in Jerusalem. I've worked in Israel. I've worked all over the world. And the thing that I'm saying, I'm saying this. There's not a program in the country that has better training than we have.
Thank you. It's an honor to be part of this, that we can all see a change for these kids. Most of all, if you ain't been affected yet. I'm a father, been affected. This was my baby boy in the first dumpster after being shot in St. Louis in January of last year. I just did a thing on Highway 270 for 2 of my sons the same day. So if you ain't never had a child not come home and wake up at 3 in the morning thinking about what you could have said to him, think about it. Before you make a decision, look at your little cousins, your nieces, your nephews. Take your family members and do inventory. Look at them. Look them dead in the face and wonder, will they be something one day? Will they sit where you sit one day? Will they be able to talk about Cure Violence to make a difference? How can all other communities take something and we steady not change? I got 2 tattoos. That's what I live by. Live by these tattoos. I sleep with them. I go to bed with them. I hope y'all consider not having tattoos, looking at your grandkids, tell them you love them in the morning. Amen.
Jeanette Culpepper.
Huh? Alderwoman Hubbard? No. Alderwoman Boyd? No. Alderwoman Carter? Seeing no questions, Mr. Clerk, the motion was made and moved. Can we get a roll call to accept and approve amendment number 1?
Mr. Chairman, I want to make a adjustment on the printed copy of the bill that you all have because of the number of co-sponsors that are on it. The line numbers are different than the bill that I had earlier. So amendment number 1 is page 2, line 20. Just a minute, page 2, line 20.
It was corrected, Mr. President.
Mr. President, okay.
You got the clerk there.
On the top.
Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Alderman Boyd? Alderman Amendment 1. Alderman Boyd? Alderman Wanowitz?
Aye.
Alderwoman Hubbard?
Aye.
Alderwoman Howard?
Aye.
Alderman Muhammad?
Aye.
Alderwoman Boyd?
Aye.
Alderwoman Clark?
Aye.
Chairman Carl? President Reed? Alderman Boyd? 8 aye votes.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Now on to, Mr. President, you also want to introduce amendment number 2.
Yeah, amendment number 2 for Board Bill 105 reads like this. Amendment number 2, starting on page 1, line 3, strike out the word $8 million and insert the word $5 million.
Can I get a motion to accept amendment number 2?
I make a motion to accept amendment number 2 to Board Bill 105.
To move and second, call for previous roll. The 105 as amended.
I would just, again, really appreciate your support on Board Bill 105 as amended. I know that there are other speakers here who want to speak, and I don't know how much time you all have before we do this hearing. I have a question. Even though not all speakers are going to speak, is there any opposition to us going ahead and voting before the bill to lose the quorum? I certainly would hear from anybody that wants to speak, and we'll give you as much time as you want. But so unanimously across the board. Oh man, let's give everybody.
Yeah!
The chairman will call the speakers and yeah, I'm asking people not they're gonna go through the speakers now. But the reason the chairman had to do that because there were some members who had previous obligations that we had to make sure that the most important thing was get them passed.
I'm proud of you. That's fine. I'm proud of you.
Oh, I'm thankful.
Family or not, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
For pushing.
Thank you.
For making a difference, showing St. Louis you can stand up and keep your word.
Oh, thank you.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Publicly, they may not never film this on none of their TVs, but this the real talk show. I am the host, Ronnie Robinson. I invested my own money and I put it together to make a difference. Mm-hmm. But I'm proud of you.
Man, I'm so
If you ain't got nobody behind you, you got me.
Oh, man.
And you got Dee Dee.
Oh man, thank
We
you.
with
Thank
you.
Thank you, cuz.
Rain, sleet, or shine.
Look, Breon's life
is living on, and he's making a change, right? It's motivated you to come out and stay engaged in these streets, to push people outside their comfort zone to do something different, right?
Yeah.
So you know, I'm proud of you and so thankful that you have taken all of that tragedy, hurt, and sorrow and transformed it into transforming a system. And it takes a strong man to do that.
And I'm telling you,
as a father of four, you're stronger than I am. I would just be, I'd be just so torn up. I don't know that I could do it.
Well, one thing I will say, I will be in the class.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
If don't nobody show up in class, I will, because I don't make a difference. I volunteered at Cardinal Ritter for 8 years, didn't have a problem on my watch, and I see I got to go back to being around kids. I ain't got a problem. Thank you, cuz.
All right, thank you, cuz.